very good morning. This is Dr.J.Mekala Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of History. In this session, we are going to discuss about the Pallavas. Here, we will see about the history, origin of Pallavas and the important rulers of early Pallavas and later Pallavas, then their political history and their extension. The main objective of this session is we will discuss about the importance of Pallavas, and the main objectives of this topic is to gain knowledge about the greatest dynasties that ruled a significant part of Deccan and South India, and to understand the territory over which they ruled. Then to learn about their rule marked by commercial enterprise and a limited amount of colonization in Southeast Asia. The Pallava dynasty supplanted the Ishwakus who arose on the ruins of Satavahanas in the eastern peninsula. The Pallava dynasty was established in Tondai Mandalam with Kanchipuram as its capital. The meaning of the term Pallavas means branch. The Pallavas ruled for about 500 years until Tondai Mandalam was captured by imperial Cholas. They were into constant rivalry with the Chalukyas of Badami, Cholas and Pandyas during their reign. The origin of Pallava dynasty is still a mystery, and probably the first ruler of this dynasty came to power in mid of the 3rd century AD. Pallavas were the great patrons of art and architecture. Kailasanatha temple at Kanchi, Pancharatnas and Shore temple at Mahabalipuram, Vaikuntha Perumal temple are some of their famous architectural works. The origin of Pallava dynasty. Origin of the Pallava dynasty is still a debatable topic among scholars. Different views evolved around their origin. Few scholars equated them with the Parthians, few viewed them as a branch of Vakadaka dynasty of Deccan, while others viewed them as descendants of Chola prince and Naga prince. Pallavas were identical to the Pulindas who were mentioned in Ashokan inscription. The Pallava dynasty began their rule around 250 AD in Tondai Mandalam. The capital of Pallavas was Kanchi, which is identical with the present day Kanchipuram. The Pallava dynasty emerged during the 3rd century CE with its capital at Kanchipuram. They originated as a feudatory of Satavahanas and gradually gained independence and extended their territory. The early Pallava rulers such as Simhavarma I and Mahendravarma I laid foundation of dynasty and established their authority. Under the rule of Narasimhavarman, it also known as Mamalla, the Pallava reached peak of their power and influence. He undertook successful military campaigns. This included the defeat of the Chalukyas and the occupation of Vadapi, that is modern day Badami. Narasimhavarma I was known for his patronage of arts, literature and architecture. The Pallava dynasty experienced periods of decline and revival over the centuries. They faced invasions from the Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas and Cholas. These Cholas eventually overpowered the Pallavas in the 9th century CE, ending their rule. The political history of the Pallava dynasty. The Satavahanas coincided with the advent of Pallavas in South India. Initially, the Pallavas were the Satavahanas' subordinate monarchs. Pallavas, like the Abris, Kadambas and Vagadakas, established themselves as autonomous monarchs, and by the 6th century they had taken control of vast portion of India. Pallavas' origin are a point of contention. Some historians speculated that they were Parthians who established as Pallavas on the Tondai Mandalam shore in the Indus Valley. Over a few historians thought that they were linked to the Vakadakas. There is no convincing proof concerning the reality of the Pallavas origins since scholars thought they were Nagas. Their origins are thought to have been in Tondai Mandalam. Pallavas were Sadavahana's feudal lords, and when Sadavahanas fell out of favor, Pallavas declared themselves independent. Simhavishnu is said to be the Pallava dynasty's first historical ruler. He was a powerful administrator, earning the title of Avnisingha. He conquered all of Cholamandalam and extended his dominion all the way to the Kaveri river. As a result, he is regarded as the Pallava dynasty's true founder. He was a Vaishnavism adherent. Bharvi, the author of Kidaranjiyam, lived in this court. The extent of Pallava dynasty. The Pallava dynasty had a vast empire with Kanchipuram serving as its capital. At the highest of their power, their provinces stretched from the northern tip of Andhra Pradesh to the Kaveri river in the southern portion of the state. The Cholas were reduced to a boundary state by the Pallavas' predominance throughout the 7th century. The Pallava ruler Narasimhavarman attacked Vadapi and defeated Chalukyas. The Pandyas, Chalukyas and Pallavas together crushed the Kalabra uprising. The Kalabras were rising against the Brahminic emperors. Countless land transfer to Brahmanas during the three eras. The rulers of early Pallavas, the important rulers are listed out here. Simhavarma the first, Shivaskanda Varma and Vijayskanda Varma and Skanda Varman, Vishnu Gopala the first, Kumara Vishnu the first, Skanda Varma the second, Veeravarman, Skanda Varman the third, Simhavarman the second, Skanda Varman the fourth, Nandi Varman the first, Kumara Vishnu the second, Buddhavarman, Kumara Vishnu the third and Simhavarman the third. Pallavas rose to the power during the later part of the Istvaka ruler in Andhra. Pallava king Simhavarma defeated the Ishvaka king Rudrapradeshara in 300 CE and established Pallava ruler in coastal Andhra, which was known at that time as Kumarashtra and started as a political power in South India. It is believed that Simhavarma was the founder of this dynasty, and Sivaskanda Varman, who ruled probably about the beginning of the 4th century CE, seems to have been the greatest of the early Pallavas. His dominions extended from the Krishna to the southern Pennar and up to the Bellary district. Nandivarman I was the last of early Pallava kings. During his time, the Pallava kingdom experienced the invasion of the Kalabras. The rulers of the Pallava empire, the important rulers, Sivaskanda Varman, he was the greatest among the early rulers. He ruled at the beginning of 4th century AD. He performed Ashwamedha and over Vedic sacrifices. Simhavarman, he was a Buddhist and he included Sri Lanka in his kingdom. He defeated the contemporary Tamil rule. Pallava history assumes a definite character from this ruler onwards. Mahendravarman succeeded Simhavishnu, who was his father. He was a poet and composed Vichitrachita and Mahavilasa Prahasana. He introduced rocket temple architecture and he was a Jain who converted to Saivism. He had ongoing rivalry and battles with Pulikesi in the second of Chalukya dynasty. Mahendravarman died in battle with the Chalukyas. He was an able and efficient ruler. Narasimhavarma I, he was a son and successor of Mahendravarman. He considered the greatest of the Pallavas and he also called Narasimhavarman Mahamalla or Mamalla. He defeated and killed Pulikesi in the second in 642 AD. He took control of Vatapi, the Chalukya capital, and he assumed the title Vatapi Konda. He also vanquished the Cholas, Cheras and the Pandyas. He sent a naval expedition to Sri Lanka and reinstated the Sinhalese Prince Manivarma. He founded the city of Mamallapuram, which is named after him. Huan visited the Pallava kingdom during his reign in about 640 AD, and he describes the people living in his kingdom as happy. He also says there was an abundance of agricultural products. Great Nayana saints like Appar Sirithondar lived during his reign. He was succeeded by his son Mahendravarma II, who ruled from 668 to 670 AD. The rulers of later Pallavas: Simhavishnu, Mahendravarman I, Narasimhavarman I, Mahendravarman II, Parameshwaravarman I, Narasimhavarman II, he is also called Rajasimha, Parameshwaravarman II. It also called Imperial Pallavas. The foundation of this lineage of Pallavas was laid by Simhavishnu, who began his rule in 575 AD after defeating the Pallavas. He defeated many kings in south, including Cholas and Pandyas. His reign went on to include Sri Lanka in his kingdom. The Pallava dynasty is given a proper shape from his rule onwards. He was also known as Avinashi Simha, that is, the meaning of the word name is Lion of the Earth. Mahendravarman I practiced Jainism in his early life, but Appar, a Saivan saint, influenced him to convert to Shaivism. He was also known as Satyasandha, Gunabraga, Chitrakarapuli and Mattavilasa. He had expertise in the construction of cave temples. He is also credited with the music inscription at Kudumiyan Malai. Narasimhavarman I is considered one of the greatest of the Pallavas. He was also known as Mamalla. He raised the prestige of the empire and defeated Pulikesi II. During his reign, Huan visited the Pallava capital, Kanchi. Narasimhan II, he was also known as Narasimha, was considered great military strategist. He exchanged ambassadors with China and his reign was considered very peaceful. He also focused on temple building activities. The famous scholar Dandin used to live in his court. Narasimhavarman II was the worshipper of Vishnu and a great patron of learning. Several old temples were renovated and new ones like Vaikuntha Perumal temple at Kanchi were constructed during his reign. Aparajita Varman is considered the last Pallava ruler and was defeated by Aditya I, the Chola ruler, in 897 AD. The depiction of Somaskanda on the rear wall of sanctum of the temple in Tirthani is regarded as the last known use of that style. Simhavishnu, he ruled the Pallava kingdom from 575 to 600 AD. He is said to be the real founder of Pallava dynasty. The Kalabras, who were known as the evil rulers, were defeated by Simhavishnu. The Pallava kingdom extended up to Kaveri river under his reign. Narasimhavarman I was the son of Mahendravarman, after whom he succeeded to the throne and one of the greatest rulers of Pallava dynasty. He ruled the Pallava kingdom from 630 AD to 668 AD. He captured and destroyed their capital city Vatapi and thus took the title Vatapi Konda. He is also known as Mamalla, that is a great whistler. After Mahendravarman, his son Parameshwaravarman became the king. During his rule, Kanchipuram was occupied by Chalukyas. There were a few other rulers. The last ruler of the Pallava dynasty was Aparajita Varman, who killed in battle with the Cholas. During the reign of Pallava king Narasimhavarman I, the Chinese Buddhist monk Xuanzang visited the capital city of Pallava dynasty, Kanjipuram. Historians often refer to Xuanzang as the match marker between India and China. The Pallava dynasty was a formidable kingdom in the south from the 4th century AD to early 9th century AD. Aparajitavarman was the last known ruler of the dynasty, and he was defeated by the Chola king, and eventually the reign of Pallava dynasty came to an end in early 9th century AD. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you all understand the history, origin and extent of Pallava dynasty through this session. Thank you.